7 minutes that I was given to do this. But then you see water. So yes, I put a few notes down because I've had a lot of fun with these books ever since Prof. Richard did me the favor of getting some advanced copies. But for the first one, in the order in which I looked at them, the leveraging AI for freelancing, strange things occurred to me. One was the forward by Zipline, because I know that they are, historical collaborators with my friend, Prof. And I like the way on the journey together they are adapting to the new infusion of artificial intelligence into our midst. But the other thing that struck me was the profile of African involvement and the fact that Kenya was noted more in the area of writing and translation for gig work. That was interesting because software development was kind of still associated with Asia, with India, with Pakistan. I see those as opportunity areas because remuneration sort of goes with software development a bit. The recommendations that were given in terms of spiking Ghana's innovation contribution were very interesting for me because more scholarly work was really emphasized. I don't know whether I have the liberty to ask that, motivated by some of these things, a few of us who are corporate people also joined in the publication value chain and came out with a Springer Nature journal publication. But the whole essence of the recommendation is that a lot of research is needed to up Ghana's profile or Africa's profile. And that's very important. Now, in terms of AI skills development and AI entrepreneurship, I was happy also to see the specific emphasis on that. And as for page 84 of that book, if you don't read the whole book, you just take page 84, where he talks about interdisciplinary research. It's so close to my heart because I've been walking this campus for the last few months and I talk to heads of political science, history, linguistics, and a lot of people say, are you not the engineer from the past? Why are you always in this corner of the campus? And I'm like, AI, the computer engineering of it will come together. There's no issue. But to bring that side in is quite a phenomenon. And I like that fact. Page 84, the students especially, please. AI and freelancing. And of course, on that note, my good friend, Professor Mahmoud Abdul Mahmoud, I always love to see you because when you bring the marketing in, then the technology is complete. And so I found the profile interesting also for the African countries. This Nigeria thing is real, and they are doing well. I see the numbers, 571 in terms of number of gigs on the fourth quadrant. The Ghana numbers are small. We should not hide behind small population and so on. We are not doing very well. And I think the ranking is clear. It's Nigeria, it's Kenya, it's South Africa, and the Ghana one is just there for respect. We need to work hard. They've put together the data. So right now, this idea of we are debating, it's all gone now. These 4 books contain everything that you need to know. So we need to go now and address the issues. The other one on AI and the music industry, it's interesting that the first point I noted is what welcomed me as soon as I got here. Because I've not seen Dr. Marfo in a very long time. So the first point I noted was, I'll see Dr. Marfo. And when I got here, he was the first person I saw. But in terms of the research questions, that one was also interesting. Because when I saw music industry, I said to myself, hey, these professors, so where would they approach it from? But I saw, yes, methodological approaches. That particular word, I thought, hey, I'm an Ashanti man, why do you want to do this? Methodological, it's too much. We like only simple words. The tree and English don't go together too well. But publication trajectory around digital platforms, I thought that was very good. I mean, the use of the Scopus database, the data, I enjoyed that, like really looking at what is being done. So, again, the most cited countries, no surprises there, but it's an opportunity because it's kind of traditional. Europe, USA, Europe, Africa hardly gets mentioned there. Of course, the recommendation engines that Spotify has built and so on, I enjoyed that part. And I like the fact that I'm sitting by Diana now because, those things I didn't know. I didn't know Jefferson Senaja was here a minute ago, but busy man, I'm sure he's gone. Oh, okay. So, yes, the things you guys are doing, really, it's just so exciting. And listening to him on the panel, I could tell that these are very real. I put there that there was a scholar, Lilian 2024, who's writing about those things. But now that we have the live people, honestly, I'll not read the Lilian thing. So the value chain of production was very well traced, and I enjoyed it because I didn't know it in terms of the studio work, the identification, finance, and production, and so on. So that is as far as it goes for the music industry. And of course, the cases, what joy when I listed the cases here, then Akumi, Park, Lisa Kwama, and so on, and then one case is now sitting to my left over there. So that's a lot of interesting work. And this was another one that I really found interesting, AI and the creative industry. Like I was like, how did these guys manage to do music separate from creative? Like what are they going to do? But again, as they are professors, when I opened the book, I saw that they have done it. They've distinguished them, the two domains. So I saw, I put a question here that I was going to ask Prof. Sheena later. Prof. Sheena and I, we used to meet sometimes with her family at some breakfast location, but she's disappeared from there. So, but I was going to ask that, this word influencers, I thought it was, a few of us who use it, but I saw some scholarly traces of where it originates from and all that, and I said, hey, this is exactly what I'm afraid of. And as for the, use of Canva, GPT for ideation, you see, I was enjoying that. But when they got to global adversarial networks, I'm trying to, computer engineering students are here, right? Computer science, computer engineering. Hey, students, when the thing is getting technical, they don't put up their hand. But I know they are here. At that point I was very excited because I felt like, hey, we are now talking about the real engines and we are applying it in real time to what is going on. So those are very good lessons, and I encourage everybody because it goes on, the one on the creative industry goes on to talk about, education, health, and a lot of other things. I was very worried when I came to policy because Her Excellency and Engineer Dr. McOliver, you people carry the world. And for the rest of us who spent, the students who do not know me, I spent 32 years in industry for the most part. Out of that, I think only 1 year was teaching at Gimpa, Shesi, and all that. And within MTN, within Stanbic Bank, within Heineken, spending time 5 years in the Netherlands, and so on and so forth, we always lose sight of the fact that for us, it is 3 financial statements. Professor Dean is here. I'm sure his students are always excited when they are able to trace the balance sheets, the cash flows, and the income statements. And they know that they've analyzed the case thoroughly. But for these others who do policy, who do development, who do the real things in life, it is making sure that the babies don't die. It's making sure that the neighborhoods are safe. And we don't know how to do it, you know. And unfortunately, Prof. Sheena, as much as you said, no, it was not you who said, it was Prof. Yaro who said that corporate is very welcome to come and support. But I hope when corporate comes in humility. Because what is going on over here is the real deal. You know, as for the 3 financial statements, honestly, for many years we announced and we celebrated and we popped drinks and all that type of thing. But today my daughter Nanaba is in Canada. Yesterday somebody called to say she wants to go and give Nanaba sugar bread for free. Nanaba says, your dad must not text you on Instagram, stick to your WhatsApp. You go to WhatsApp, last seen Tuesday. And we are talking Tuesday last week, or not today. You call, you know, it's a whole value chain of how you reach Gen Z. And then she would tell me that the Gen Alpha people are some way. You know, as far as she is concerned, the gap between my birth in 1970 and her birth in 2008 is just an event. I should be able to get used to it. But for her, she sees a 12-year-old and says, these people, they were as if they were born into the device. So it's a different ball game. But for people who have to shape policy, when I read the book, I saw that, you know, I understood it, but I was realizing that this is not work that I have done in my many journeys. Because again, I will breach the copyright and tell the students that my name is Eric Nsakon. Nsakon is spelled N-S-A-R-K-O-H. Since I'm about to end the many interesting stories that I've not told, type that name in YouTube and you follow the channel, you'll get it. But this particular part of it on education, fraud, transportation, gender, economy, that one I'm going to spend time and learn it. Because Honorable Representative of President Kufuor, in 2007, I came back to this country from the Netherlands after 5 years working for Heineken International. And my first job was under Mary Chenry Hesse, Chief Advisor to Kufuor. And we were monitoring 21 priority projects of His Excellency Kufuor. Health insurance, the West Africa Gas Pipeline, the Emergency Power Project, railway extension, food security. I mean, you remember. But we built a prototype, you know, one of the more elegant management information systems that I've worked on. And we tested it with the Emergency Power Project. In fact, Auntie Mary was so happy with it. She brought Elizabeth Ohene, Boniface Siddiq, a lot of people to come and see it. And then she told me that at your age, you have to understand that after you've presented to all the advisors, it is we who brief the old man. It's not you. And it's a nice lesson that we all learned. But looking at it all today, I might again take a liberty and say, in 1994, I was the first master's student in MIS on this campus. The project did not exist. Professor Dean, I don't know whether you still have the management science option. But that was what I was admitted to and I rejected it. I said, this thing, an engineer must not come into this thing at all. Optimization and that type of parameterization. So I started to lobby that I wanted to leave the school. And that was when they told me that there's a very risky project coming, MIS. Ministry of Finance has not signed, the European Union has not confirmed the funding. But since you seem to be some mental case, we can put your name there. And if it works, it works. And of course it worked. So I think for the policy book, honestly, I'll ask for time out on that one because I have to study it more carefully. I think there's so much in there and the opportunity, like I said to the representative of His Excellency, is so big. So we thank you all for this great work that you've done.